Yeah.
Make some noise like you just open the lines to make the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Don't make some noise like you know what the truth is. Got a great show for you today, and we're going to have test our new technology. My brother Ben Crump will be up on here live. We'll be able to pull up folks from all over the world now. You know, I've got a guy over in Spain right now researching one of my guests today. Evidently, he was over there when he was 20, impregnated some girl, so we're going to have her up on the screen, Mark, with DNA proof today.
This is not the Maury
my
show.
Co-host, we got a new intermittent co-host, and that is Sabrina. Hello, Sabrina.
Peace. It's Sabrina Athena. Hey, everybody.
Sabrina Athena.
Hey.
That sounds like one of them mythology.
Don't even start, man.
Here we go, Ed.
He loves to say goddesses, you know.
Yeah.
Submit to me.
That's right.
Yeah, right.
Or feel the wrath of my hammer.
Yeah.
Boom.
Let me get off that one. Of course, the pink lady here to my left, that is Chantel.
Good morning, everybody.
Good
morning. Hey, y'all.
Very gifted son who's taking the knee, and we're going to start with drum lessons on Monday.
Yes.
But he also likes that keyboard.
He does.
So we're going to get him on both of them.
Period.
And then, of course, my classmate from Cass Tech, Big Ed.
Hey, good morning, Detroit. Good morning.
Yeah, Big Ed was part of that, one of the first winning seasons when I was in the 11th grade. We only lost one game that year.
That's correct.
That was to Northern.
To Northern. That
16-8.
That week that Ralph Arney was killed
in the car accident.
Yeah.
And, I was out at the cemetery off on 4th Street early this year.
Uh-huh.
And it's interesting because I guess his family moved out of town. The people at the cemetery has told me it's been 20-some years since anyone has visited his gravesite. He was killed on I-75 south. He was our center.
Yeah, and it was like the day before the game.
Yeah, and that was we lost that game. That was an interesting game. The students from Northern said, "Man, look over there in that apartment. We got snipers." And you remember that?
Yeah, but you know one thing? That was the first and last game played at that field.
No question. Yeah, that was a terrible field.
Yeah.
But they also, we lost the game, but then they tried to come turn our bus over.
Uh-huh.
You remember that?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah. Marshall Deal did some running because we was going to whip him. One thing about, let me just tell you something. One thing about that team is, which changed the whole equation for Cass, because out of that came the spirits and stuff, is that we wasn't running from no fights.
Oh, no.
Now, we put a whole new fear in folks think they're going to beat up the smart kids from Cass.
Right.
And we got that PVC pole, whatever that pipe, how's it called? Pipe. We got that, and Ed had a big long white one. He put green tape on. They didn't know. They thought it was something, for cheering.
That was head cracking.
And we had that. We used that after the game. We were bam. Any rate.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now we know how to make weapons.
Let me just tell you
PVC
something. Ed was a bad boy. What were you in high school? What were you, like 6'2"?
Well, I might have been. Well, I was close to 6'2". I done shrunk since.
I have too. I was 6'5.5". So but the older you get, the closer to the ground you get.
Uh-huh.
But Ed was a big boy, man. It was a big boy. That Northern game, Marshall Deal killed us around the corner, as I remember. Anyway, he was a world-class sprinter in high school, and Tyrone Frambro was over there as well. All right, we got a great show, and we're testing out our technology. We invite you to come by for biscuits, grits, and salmon croquettes on December 27th, the day before my 71st birthday. We'll have a special show. We're going to be giving away some special stuff. I want you to come and celebrate with us, and you may win some really special inordinate prize. I forgot to bring the Imagine Theater coupons. I have them next week. We got a bunch of free coupons for you to go see the movie.
Yes.
I finally went to see Wicked. I didn't see the first one.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
You feel like you missed something by not
Wicked.
seeing the
Why
first
they always
one,
have
or?
black folk being the bad characters?
Well, she's really the hero to me.
I understand.
Depends on how you look.
Well, she got the guy.
Yeah.
She got the guy. The other one was too nice.
Spoiler alert.
He wants something a little more nasty. All you good girls, that's why y'all lose sometimes.
Oh my goodness.
Also, look, here's what we're doing. Make Christmas merry. We have over 2,000 kids that have been signed up.
Yes.
What's the date for that? We're doing that. Look it up for
I'm
me.
about to pull it up.
But
I
you
got
go.
you.
December
Okay,
20th.
there you
December
December 20th.
20th.
But now at this point, it's too late to sign up kids.
Mhm.
So we have a special flyer, Olivia. We need to get you. It's only for donations. Want to thank the UAW International for $5,000. Want to thank Barry
All right,
Goodman,
that's a
Goodman
good
Law for
hand praise.
$7,500.
Mhm.
Want to thank the laborers, Local 1191 for $5,000. Want to
All
thank
right.
Comerica Bank for $5,000.
All right.
Listen, to buy toys for 2,000 kids and food costs us $40-some thousand, just so you know. It's not cheap. Yesterday we met, the office was basically closed. My principal staff, Stephanie and Jennifer and them came over. We actually, I've been praying about, we actually found a toy manufacturer that we can buy toys from, and they'll ship them to us, right? We're giving them the ages of the kids, the gender of the kids, and they're going to put a compilation together, 4 or 5 toys for each of the kids, because, we've had to go out shopping at the last minute last year. But we need volunteers. We need donations. In fact, we'll set we'll set something up maybe next Saturday, or we'll figure it out. People can bring. Oh, I know we're doing Mason show.
Yeah.
That's when we're doing the telethon to raise money for that. Well, let's give them 4 extra minutes for sports on the mark. What's up, Mark?
What's up? Not the Lions, I know that.
Yeah, man. Well, we went to Philadelphia. Did you go to Philadelphia with us?
Yes.
Yeah, we went to Philadelphia. That was a strange game. Here's what I'll say from the outset. It has proven that the success of the Lions is not the head coach, but it was Ben Johnson. Look what he's done in Chicago.
Well, you have to say, there is.
Don't be shaking your head at me. Listen, look at Chicago. I mean, it's our offense that is terrible. The defense ain't much better.
Offensive line is terrible.
It is.
Right.
And I think
Well, what's the difference?
Our skilled position players are still some of the best in the NFL.
I got that, but that's not what I'm talking
But
about.
they're not winning.
They can't win if the offensive line, 2 players on one.
So
play,
is
3 on
Ragnar going to make a difference in that?
I don't know.
I
Is
think
he in shape?
Is he in shape? You can't just pull
Look
him out
here.
the winter.
In today's
Don't pull 'em out the
environment,
window.
if all you are is a drop back quarterback, you're gonna have problems with
Oh,
the
yeah,
pass rush.
that's a whole nother issue.
Okay.
All right, let's take one thing at a time. Let's talk about, do they have the opportunity to salvage this season and get in the playoffs?
They can win 11 games, yes.
Okay.
That's winning 4 out of the next 5, which they have a very good possibility of doing.
It's going to be tough for them to win 4 out of 5, though. I'm hoping they can, because
Do you guys on the way here decide, whatever you for, the other going to be against?
No, it's just going to be tough for them to win. They're not the Lions of old. They're not last year's Lions.
They're not.
They're not the year before. They, like you said, they got offensive line problems. We don't know what we're going to get. They almost lost to the Giants, who only won 2 games. We got problems. They're not as good as they've been in the past year.
Well, they've got Dallas
Houston, we have
Thursday.
problems. Go ahead.
They've got the Rams after that. They've got Pittsburgh. Then they
I'll
have
be at the LA game, but let me just tell you, let's back up.
Minnesota
You're going
and,
one game at a time here.
Okay.
See, that's the problem.
Let's
We're trying
go
to
one game at a
too far in
time.
the future.
Dallas is on the upswing.
Could be a loss. That's what I'm saying.
Come on, man. Don't be. This is
I
radio.
think-
We
I
don't
think
get to
they're
see
gonna
your
beat
facial expression.
Dallas.
Okay.
I'll go on record as saying that they will beat Dallas.
I
Okay.
think so.
So who won't they beat?
The Rams are going to be their toughest game.
Okay.
And that game also is in LA.
Okay.
As I
Well,
think
since you
know.
going, Rev, you got to give them good luck.
Yeah, I went to Philadelphia, me and Mark, and it didn't seem to work.
Don't forget Green
A
Bay.
lot of stuff don't work.
And
in
I'm
Philly,
gonna
is
tell you,
there?
I feel sorry for the quarterback in Philadelphia because he seems to be the brunt of all the blame.
Mhm.
He didn't play that well in this past game. He's like Jared Goff. Some days he's on, some days he's off.
They're not giving him the benefit of the doubt, though. He won a Super Bowl, right?
No, but we present responsibilities not going to be handled by past accomplishment. You know what I'm saying? You only as good as you know, your girlfriend said you was great last week, but this week you was a dud. Okay.
All right.
I mean, really.
You can't rest on your laurels, your past laurels.
Gotta
You
show
can't
up.
do it.
Athena, you got
show
Athena
up.
Sabrina, you
Gotta
got a
show up.
question. I know you look like you chopping at the bit to get in this conversation.
So we're saying that the loss is going to be potentially, if there is a loss, because I believe the Lions will win every game they show up for. If the offensive line shows up, if we're healthy, and you're saying that the loss is going to be potentially the Detroit Rams.
No, the LA Rams.
I still hold on to that moment in my heart.
What moment? They ain't never been Detroit Rams.
You've never seen. And see, now we're gonna get off into a whole different conversation about
when
sports that ain't got nothing to do with the
when
game.
were the Rams in Detroit?
Never.
Okay.
But have you ever seen that logo where it's the Rams, but it's Detroit because the quarterback switch? Anybody?
No, I never.
Anybody else seen that?
That's all right. We'll give you.
I know what
go
you're
ahead.
talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you, sports experts.
Yeah,
Okay,
okay.
you know what I'm saying. I'm not somebody that watch every single Lions game, but I'm gonna tell you something. I'm a diehard Lions fan, and when the quarterback got switched out, long story short, y'all saying that the
Let me
Rams
do
are
this
gonna
real
be
quick
hard.
while it's on my mind. And the people in the audience, if you think Detroit's gonna make it to the playoffs, raise your hand. 2 people.
What we a couple weeks ago, everybody was saying they're gonna make it.
Yeah, but a couple
Everybody
weeks ago they was a different team. Looked like.
Well, go sports.
They
All right,
still
so
got
you got a
5
question,
games
Jen,
left.
yeah, because I want to, I'm going down to the Michigan State game today. You want to talk about college football?
Oh, period.
What's up, Doc? Talk.
Sports.
College football.
Wardell, you on the show today?
I'm picking.
Yes.
I'm picking Michigan
I'm not
State.
used to being called Doc, so when you said Doc,
Okay,
I
well,
thought
you the
was
doctor
somebody
because
else.
you told us you just performed surgery on the team and resuscitated them and said they gonna win the next games.
Michigan plays Ohio State in the game today.
Right. What time is that game?
It's
12
hate week.
o'clock.
Yeah. Okay.
Hate week.
And they play here or
They play in Ann Arbor.
in Ann Arbor? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you think they're gonna win that game?
My head says no, my heart says yes.
I'm picking
Okay.
Michigan because it's gonna be
Yes.
cold, could be snowy.
It's
That'll
cold in
help.
Ohio.
That'll help with the running, the
Yeah.
passing game, control the passing game. So
Yeah.
I'll pick Michigan.
And don't agree.
Hey, it's cold. You can't use weather because they had the same weather, if not more, than we do here.
That's true.
Well, here's the thing I found out about these folks. There's no consistent way to figure out how they choose anything.
Oh no.
You know what I mean? It's not
Oh,
based on stats. It's
it's-
not based on whatever. I
It's
mean,
like the puppy Super Bowl. That's what you're trying to say. You know they do.
Well,
Wherever a puppy crosses the line is the winner.
Last few years, it's been cold, and they haven't been able to throw the ball, and it's helped Michigan, and they've won.
well, here's what I
So
want
that's
to
why I'm
do.
going with that.
Here's what I want to do, Olivia. I want you to get with these guys, and from now on, I want you to track their predictions so that we can begin to handicap them. So we know that Mark is 17-1 and Wardell's 18-9.
Hey,
Okay, because I don't know how well you guys are doing in terms of calling stuff.
17 and 18 is which way though?
Yeah.
Wins.
See,
or losses?
Wardell swore that Mark was going to get a date with Halle Berry, but that ain't happened yet.
Tell them that don't mean it ain't gonna happen.
That's right. We still got time.
But isn't the interesting
Watch it out.
conversation about the Pistons right now? Aren't they having?
Did
a
they
crazy,
win? Did they win
crazy
last night
breakout?
or lost?
No, they
They
lost.
They
lost.
lost. Yeah. Yeah.
What's the difference between the Emirates and the NBA championships? Because both of them seem like they championships.
No, the cup is done mid-season. There are 6 groups. The winner of each.
Now we're talking about the floor,
The
Right.
Emirates Cup.
but which is why they have that on the floor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Certain teams.
and they do that.
What
different
are the
floors.
6 teams?
Well, the
Boston is one.
No. Winners. Orlando is one. They mentioned them last night.
All right, okay. But I thought I saw a game in
New
Boston
York
with that
won.
floor.
They did.
Oh no, you talking about who is in our division?
No, who is one of the 6 teams that have the special floor that
All 30
designates
have a special floor.
all of them?
All of them.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
When
All
they
right.
play those designated games.
Oh, okay. All right. Now I was told that was not really the floor, but that's how we see it on TV.
No, that's the floor.
No, somebody was complaining. I think it was in LA that the floor was slick
Right.
with that new.
It didn't
That new
cure long
floor.
enough or whatever. It wasn't
Yeah.
safe for them.
They need to go back to Converse All Stars. They stuck to everything.
That's why all old man feet is ugly, because y'all played in them Converse and it
Your
shows.
ankle's weak.
Man, whose ankles weak?
Yours.
I played in Pumas.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah, I remember. First of all, I really the first departure from Chuck Taylor's for me was oh my God, what's the name of that shoe? Anyway, but
Pro Kids.
Pro Kids, because you used to be able to go down on Jefferson to that Uniroyal factory, because you could buy you could buy merchandise in there, and you get those Pro Kids. Mm-hmm.
That's
so
what
you
I
had
played
that
in.
contaminated shoes.
Well, but it must not be that bad. They're about to build a bunch of stuff on it.
WNBA
Right.
facility
Uniroyal.
on that site.
Uniroyal site.
Yeah.
And that's an interesting conversation, because there's also the Detroit City Football Club was approved this week, I believe.
Yeah, they're moving over to where Southwest General was. But my daughter's getting married next Sunday.
Yay.
To Ricky.
Congratulations.
And Ricky's sister is a WNBA All-Star.
Oh, wow.
From Detroit.
Oh, period.
Did y'all know that?
You're going to have some interesting.
And it was really
friends out of
interesting.
that
I had a
one.
chance to talk to her because they actually play in more than one league. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I
They
didn't
play
know
in
that.
several
Yeah,
leagues.
yeah.
Because they don't make any money.
And that's the
Yeah.
thing. That's unfair, but it's real, because you don't have the same viewership or the same. But they've been doing really well over the last 5-6 years with women's basketball. In my time, we didn't get a chance to be cute and go play ball. They was like,
well, you made up for that now with the nails. I was going to ask you were you in?
Listen, I wore nails then.
I was going to say those look like
No, that's
some I
right.
saw in Wicked. Put them back up.
I mean, not as long, not
It's just
quite
a
as
little-
long.
It's just a little stiletto.
I like it though.
Well, you know what?
I like it. It helps
The-
with my hair combing. If I got a booger in a kid's nose,
Oh.
I got, okay,
Oh,
you
man,
know,
come on,
I can
that's
do
too
what I
much
need to do.
information.
Hey,
Oh, now it's TMI. Oh, now it's
You know what,
TMI.
though? All
She
kidding
like, you talk
aside,
about my hands.
Okay.
professional sports.
That's a whole
were-
new. By the way,
Hands are for love.
that's a
okay?
whole new sports.
Look here.
Nails
Professional,
and boogers. Go
no,
ahead.
professional sports were a lot better when the players didn't get paid as much.
Okay, okay. I'm not into the
Because they
NBA, but
played-
it's very amazing.
They
That's not
played
true.
the game for the love of the game and not for the money.
He said,
Well,
You can tell-
I don't know.
And they
I
stayed on
don't. I
teams
don't
longer.
know
be
if
broke
I don't.
and
I
hurt
don't
your
know.
body.
I don't buy that.
I don't know if that's a prima facie case.
No.
I think that most athletes, as you, Ed, would know, play for something beyond money.
Glory.
It's about
Yeah.
winning. It's about
Yeah.
Ego.
exerting your athletic ability over other folks, proving you're a better athlete. Now, do they get paid more for that? Absolutely. But I still think the competition, personal gain, in terms of, showing your own athletic prowess, all those things matter.
Let's do a Dabo basketball game with you guys.
But I'd be willing to bet you none of them play they didn't
Why
get
you
paid.
trying to hurt them?
I know I'm too old to play.
They gonna
so
step
I
up
ain't
and they not gonna say no.
I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
And no shame to my
And
game.
you gonna be the ref?
No, I ain't even gonna run as ref. I'll sit on the sideline and coach
I will keep
and be
Sit
careful
and
about
coach.
that.
You get a team. Davo get a team. I'll get a team.
Listen, it's
Ooh,
I'm
look,
sure it's
Mark
some
said
church
I
And we
leagues
can
will.
play.
going.
We can play
Well,
a.
hold up a second. Now,
exhibition.
we can have a half court competition as a fundraiser.
Look at
I
right
like
now.
I'd be willing to bet you I can still shoot. I bet you that. Huh?
That's a bet. That's a laid
mean,
out
for
bet. y'all.
real.
Put some money
A
on
horse
that one.
competition.
Okay, we raising
When
money.
I-
Who gonna
listen,
see this
when
happen?
When we had, where's Leverett at?
I can't even see it. I
Get
can't-
the team together.
Tell Leverett come here. When we had that gym over there on Davidson in our alternative school, we had a
Yeah.
team, and my alternative team actually played at the Silver Dome or wherever they played. Silver Dome.
They were at the
No, the Palace.
The Palace.
And one of my kids went on to college, but when I be in the gym, I beat him at 21. Man, I was boom, boom, boom. So I was a great shooter, but I ain't running up and down no court at this age. That I ain't doing.
Well, that's what I'm
All right,
saying.
we gotta
And I-
organize
and
a
I-
team.
And I pray nobody chase me.
You-
Talking about
now,
money in sports.
I'll play if you got a wheelchair team.
Yeah.
I think the arm's gonna be hurt.
Hey,
like,
go-
Now Leverett and Ed will do well if you promise them some food if they win.
Go Pistons.
whatever the motivation.
Go Cade
All
Cunningham.
right, so let's go. Let's
Cade
go. Yeah,
Cunningham.
yeah. And what was it? What was he mad about? He got really. That's when I went to sleep. He was the coach had to grab him. Anybody know what happened in that play?
He was fouled.
Right. Well, that
Yeah,
happens
yeah,
all the
yeah.
That
time.
happens,
No,
man.
Yeah.
No, you got fouls and you got fouls.
Those refs yesterday were bad on it both sides. They were equally
What
bad.
did they allow?
They allowed too much physicality. I mean, it was almost a fight.
Don't
at the
they
end
know
of
we
the
the
game.
Pistons?
Right.
The league is
Bad
going back
boys.
to the
Have
way
they
it
not
used to be
seen?
with the bad boys. They get
Yes.
physical again.
Yeah.
And I think the Pistons are the ones that have started that. that trend that way.
We always are.
Bad boys, bad
what we
boys.
do.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
No, they
Yeah.
call this group the Nasty Boys.
The nasty boys.
Ugh.
That okay.
The
That
nasty
don't hit
boys.
the same.
That sound
Nasty
kind of.
boys.
That sound
Nah.
kind of sweet.
All right, so let's talk about the Pistol Ball because we're gonna get
Back to
to
Kate
a
Cunningham.
couple of big games, other games, things that happen in high school sports. You know, our alma mater will be playing tomorrow. One of the things I was worried about when I watched the Pistons, because they had such a great beginning of the season, is whether or not that is what they can continue to do, or was that an aberration, just something that happened in the beginning now it's going to fade?
No, I think they can, but they got to work in the player, Jaden Ivey. That threw off the chemistry just a tad bit, I think, because they're not playing the guys that got them through the first 13 games as much. I think they're going to be fine. They probably will win 52 games, as I said, early in the year. Remember, I said that.
Well, let's measure that, since you want us to be clear about what you said
Yes.
with what you predicted for the line.
Right. 'cause
What was your
it's
prediction
kinda-
for the line?
12-5.
12-5.
It's
So
kinda-
you're
you
a
already
lost
little
that.
off.
No, I'm not off
No,
yet. I'm not off yet. They could win
If they
all
win
of them.
4 out of 5,
They
Yeah,
might.
well, he's on his way
no,
to
they had
being
to win all
off.
5.
Yeah.
They had to
Yeah.
win all 5.
Well, since when did you start defending Mark Jones?
Hey, he must have been invited for Thanksgiving dinner or
Said,
something.
this is my friend.
And by the way, we just want to lift you up in prayers. I know you've had some medical things, right? You doing better?
Yes.
Wonderful.
Amen.
Amen.
See that? See let's give him a hand. We
Amen.
glad he
Come on
had some medical challenges. He suffered a loss playing with himself, but anyway.
All right, Rick.
All right now.
All right, let's
Say a
talk
little
about
one-on-one.
You were talking about the Pistons.
Yeah.
I think that Bickerstaff in these last couple games, when Ivy and Thompson, I believe, came back, he's been playing 11 or 12 players. That may be too much.
Mhm.
So he's going to have to narrow down his
rotations.
rotation.
And
So
that,
then how does that square with what Mark said, though? Mark was saying he needs to stick with what got him here. So if you narrow it, does that take away from what you're saying, Mark?
well, I think they've got to get that chemistry going, whoever he's going to play. I don't think you can play 12 players.
Right.
And what that's going to do is you got somebody that
Okay,
can play
so who would
on
you
it.
play
You got
then?
dissension.
What would you play? 8, and who would they be?
Well, I would play. I bring what's his name, Jenkins, Denise Jenkins. I think he's been the spark plug, and Jaden Ivey's going to have to wait a little bit.
Right.
That's what I would do, and that's a big decision.
I don't
come
know
on.
about that.
Come on now.
That's a
Come
big
on.
decision.
Come on.
Now you can play both of those players, but you just have to space them out. I think last night he had Ivy and Jenkins playing in the second team, which is fine. But you can't play everybody.
Look, Cade did not come through in 2 games in a row. He did not come through at the end of the game. Missed his free throw.
And then one dribbling
both
behind.
times.
Hold on, and that dribbling behind his back when you got 2 defenders right there. I mean, that's straight up either turn around and dribble with your back to the players. That was terrible to me. That's just like that's not something DJ would have done.
Well, last night, Cade didn't have any help. I mean, he had a triple-double with 39 points, but no one else really stepped up. I think Tobias had 18. But other than that,
Well, 18 is stepping up. That's stepping up.
other than that, it was all on Cade.
How many shots did he take?
He didn't
That's
take
the good-
46, that's for sure. Like he did before. He
And
took-
everybody's
saying
gonna
Cade
have.
tired?
Everybody ain't gonna be perfect every night. Let's just be real.
So in the
need a minute.
pantheon of superstars and elite players in the NBA, where do you place Cade?
I think this year he's in the top 10.
Yeah, I
He's
agree.
And
He's
we have
28.8
He's
points a
pushing
game,
for
9
first-
rebounds.
First team All NBA.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I
Okay.
do believe if he has enough.
See, this
keeps
is
these numbers.
this is proof. This is proof that you just got to wait to see what happens, because I think at one point both of you guys were poo-pooing on Cade as well.
I didn't know whether he was going to be good. I was
You
Oh,
did,
yeah.
you
Yeah.
did say that.
He liked Cade.
You must be
But-
running for politics or
but-
something.
Because it's always
but-
good to tell
Like,
him
wait,
what I
hold
do.
on. What did I say that
What you-
day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you
But
say? What else?
It's
Yeah.
always good at telling what I do, what I say.
Who Mark is?
Well, I thought you liked him.
I do.
Okay,
I had no
and-
problem with what you said, but
And I said I didn't.
you said that. You
No, I
didn't
said I
like
didn't.
I don't
Oh.
recall either one of you all thinking that he was going to be what he is.
No, I didn't know what he was going to do.
I remember.
I thought he needed help.
Right.
Well, I've
He
always
needed a better
said,
team.
We always had issues with him at the end of the game being the person that they went to, right?
Well, he's still doing that. The last 2 games, he didn't do it. And
Yeah.
he still needs to learn that.
well, I'm gonna stick with it. Pistons need a post-up player that's consistent.
Well, they could get Laurie Markkinen, but it's going to cost them Thompson, Ivy, Tobias Harris.
I can't give all that up.
4 first-round picks and 4 pick squads.
I can't give all that
Would
up.
you give
That's
that
a
up for
hefty
that?
price for a big
No,
man.
I don't think so.
No, I ain't giving up for that.
Definitely
no.
not worth
You
it.
gonna have to.
No, I like to go out with Hattie, but I'm not selling all 4 of my houses to do it. Let's talk to talk about the cash technicians. Let's talk about the high school football playoffs in general. There were some games yesterday, right?
Yes.
And then we have, of course, the big game tomorrow with Cass and Detroit Catholic Central.
Yeah, well, listen, the cast of Catholic Central game, that's going to be, it's like it is every year, a huge game, tough battle. I'll tell you what's going to win the game. If Cass
Who has the most points?
If Cass is disciplined, they'll beat CC.
Right.
If not, CC is going to run the ball down their throats.
What does discipline look like? What do you mean by that?
No turnovers.
Well,
No,
they've been pretty much playing like
few-
that the whole season.
Fewer penalties. No.
Cass Tech?
No.
They've had some games where that's not been true.
Are y'all 2 going to suit up and shape up the middle?
Well, here's what I do
You gotta
know.
warm up for the basketball game.
Dennis Deno, who is on the board of governors of Michigan State University, is taking me and Ron Lockett. I'm sorry, that's Michigan State game today. No, I am going to wear some of my Cass Tech. I have a number 72 jersey with
It's
my name on
a
the back.
new jersey, ain't the one you
No,
wore
I
back
had
then.
it made, baby.
I know you had to
I
have
had it made.
I tried to put on my leather sweater and damn near choked myself.
Almost got
Yeah,
trapped in
well,
there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think your underwear might still fit.
Oh my God.
But here is somebody said at the beginning of this is a novel game in terms of the times that these teams have played or something I heard about the 2 undefeated teams, right?
Yes.
So there's only been
be
a
a good
few
game.
instances like that, right?
I didn't know that, but yeah. But I will say this: they played twice in the last few years, and it's been a barn burner. So this one is going to be just like.
And who won those 2 games? They split them.
I think Cass.
Gas, okay.
Mm.
See, I always worry about that kind of stuff. Same with the Lions. When you whip somebody and you whatever, you have to have a different mindset because those teams are coming in to prove something different to you, right?
That's water under the bridge.
Right.
You can't count on that for a drink.
Hey, have you guys noticed that
Come on,
the
Ed.
things have changed? It used to be that Catholic League had better football teams
Here we go.
than the PSL.
Right.
Now it's the PSL has better football teams,
And they have better basketball.
and
teams.
Catholic League has better basketball teams.
Yeah.
But you also don't have the inner city Catholic schools anymore. There used to be an Operation Friendship that happened between PSL and the Catholic League schools.
I think they still have PSL.
They still have that Operation Friendship?
Catholic.
Yeah, but the
I
schools
remember
are
that
not
game
from
every year.
Detroit.
It's
They
not
still,
the same.
No.
they're not from Detroit. You
It's
have
not
the
the
They
same.
Poor.
Catholic Central is still
The
playing
Poorest
Detroit.
used to have a
They need to stop.
have.
Yes, they are.
I remember when
That's why they
I
made it.
remember when De La Salle was in Detroit.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
There
know,
was at least 10.
you know,
At least 10.
Yep. De La Salle was in Detroit,
That's
and I mean
right.
those were really great games. When I was in high school in Windsor, Assumption High School, we would play UAD and Catholic Central and those kind of teams. We had I think 3 games that we played Catholic schools in Detroit, and they were really big. I remember, by the way, when Catholic Central would play games, football games at UAD Stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That when it was when Detroit Catholic Central was done,
They tore that stadium down. I wish they had not.
I don't know why they did that.
Tearing a lot of stuff
Yeah.
down.
They didn't
don't
have the
need to.
vision.
All right, so who's gonna win? Who's gonna win between Cass and Catholic Central?
I'm picking Catholic Central.
Cass.
Okay, Mark, you just lost your opportunity to be on my show.
Wow. Wow.
Ed, who you say?
You don't have to ask me that. This Cass definitely.
Okay, Athena, Sabrina.
Football wins. Love wins. Move on.
Who
Not me.
does?
Football and love always wins. Amen.
Oh,
I'm
you
not here
got
for
you
it.
got to
Nope.
pick a team.
I pick. All right, I pick Cass. Yay.
All right, what about you?
Sports. Go Sports.
She picks Cass with me. Anybody on this set that didn't pick Cass won't be back. All right, we got to get back after this. We'll be talking to Ben Crump.
It's for y'all. It's for y'all. Reverend Horace Sheffield and the wake-up call.
Think about it today.
I'm Sheriff Raphael Washington, Wayne County, and I get my Saturday morning wake up every Saturday morning from Reverend Horace Sheffield, and you should too.
Every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. on 1500 AM or 92.7 FM. The wake-up call to the Reverend Horace Sheffield.
This is Super Bowl champion Lomas Brown, and I get my Saturday morning wake-up call from Reverend Horace Sheffield, my man.
This is Grover McCains, and I get my wake-up call from Reverend Horace Sheffield every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. on 1500 AM or 92.7 FM. The wake-up call to the Reverend Horace Sheffield. See you there.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your man Mike Epps, and I get my Saturday morning wake-up call from Reverend Sheffield. Make sure you get yours.
I'm Hester Wheeler, and I get my Saturday morning wake-up call from Reverend Horace Sheffield.
Every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. on 1500 AM or 92.7 FM. The wake-up call to the Reverend Horace Sheffield.
Hi, I'm Eric Sabria, your Wayne County Treasurer. If you're living in a home of a deceased family member and you're facing property tax foreclosure, the probate process can be helpful to you. If you file a probate petition and notify our office, the foreclosure proceedings will be halted during the probate process. Contact us at 313-224-5990 or email us at taxinfo@waynecounty.com. We're here to help.
Should I? Auto framing. No, I'm not going to do auto framing. I'm good. Thank you.
In the wilds of Michigan, billboard lawyers hunt their prey. Big hair, bold promises, and huge guarantees. But the personal injury lawyers at Goodman Acker are a different breed. Instead of making noise, they focus on listening to you. Goodman Acker, 1-800-TRUSTED. It's for y'all. It's for y'all, Reverend Horace Sheffield and the wake-up call.
All right, we're back in live and living color. Make some noise on the corner, Grand River in Wyoming. We're joined by a celebrity co-host. This is Lexi.
Yes.
Hello, Lexi.
Oh, celebrity.
Sexy
Good morning.
Lexi.
That's
Yeah.
what's up,
Yeah.
Lexi.
And your star is only eclipsed by the indomitable and incomparable Ben Crump. Good morning, Ben.
Hey, good morning, Rev. Honored to be with you.
Well, I want you to know you're the first guest in our new setup. We have a new studio here where we can bring people up on the board. Y'all make some noise in the audience. I want to start by saying that, I grew up in a family where, we swam in Lyndon Johnson's swimming pool and met John Kennedy, of course, slept in King's house. I mean, they were in my father's house. And one of the things that always impressed me, let's say for Dr. King, for example, he was so down to earth. He was so non-pretentious. And when I first met you in an airport, idolizing you and everything, you were so down to earth and just so approachable. And we become good friends. And I just want people to know this brother does not think more of himself than he should. And he's a person that really touches and feels people. And if there's ever a crisis that I'm in, that I need the best lawyer in America, I tell him he's the modern day Thurgood Marshall.
Period.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you, Rev.
Yeah.
And Rev, you are not only my friend, but I consider you a mentor and truly one of the best advocates that we have for Black people in America. I think about every time we talk, we're always talking about how do we advance the culture? How do we build a better future for our children? How do we all come up together where we don't have just one Negro in the penthouse and then everybody else down in the cellar.
Oh, in the outhouse.
In the outhouse, exactly. And it's that part about making sure we give a better future for our Black children that you epitomize, especially now in a profound way, because I've said it privately, but I think this is the first time I get to say it publicly. Congratulations for producing a history maker.
That's right.
Mayor, the first Black woman to be mayor in the city of Chicago.
And 3 city Detroit. Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Yeah. And by the way, you know, you were instrumental in that. You came and endorsed her early when people told you that you shouldn't. But we appreciate that. So, Lex, you want to have the first question?
No.
Okay, well, Chantel or Athena, either one of y'all. Yeah.
So right now we're living in some very challenging times, some unprecedented times. Why is it so important to advocate for social justice?
You know, I think two things. I go around the country giving a lot of speeches, and I remember, and I think I may have told you this, Reverend Sheffield, when this administration, this regime first came into power, there was a little Black woman, probably about 65, 70 years old. She said, you know, Attorney Crump, you got a lot of influence. When you go around and you talk to people, people listen. She said, I want you to tell our people when you talk to them that we done been through way too many thunderstorms to worry about a few raindrops that's coming from this Trump administration. Wow. She said, everywhere you go, Attorney Crump, you tell our Black people, we gonna be all right. And I mean, it was just that Black woman's mentality that I refuse to have a defeatist mentality that all of us have to adopt. That's number one. And number two, Reverend Sheffield, I believe we have to go back to leaning on our ancestors and their lessons. I mean, Frederick Douglass was telling everybody in our community when they were living through way worse situations than we were. They were being lynched in cotton fields, the women being raped, the children being kidnapped, and the men being beat and lynched to death. And Frederick Douglass kept telling everybody who would listen, he said, no, without struggle, there could be no progress. So, that's right. You know, don't get depressed because of the struggle. Don't get discouraged because of the struggle. Because he said, as long as we're in the struggle, that means there's a chance for progress. Every day that we refuse to surrender, every day that we refuse to wave the white flag, every day that we get ready to go and fight yet again, that means it gives our chance a better opportunity for a better future. So we can't get depressed because it's a struggle, and it's going to be some challenging times for these next 3 years. But every morning we get up, we have to celebrate the struggle. We have to go run to the front line and fight for our children's future yet again. I want every morning, Reverend Sheffield, that you and Mary and all of y'all get up and we go to the front line and go fight. I want those white supremacists to say, I be damned. They got up and came ready to fight again.
Yeah. There's a story real quick, if I could do this. First of all, Ben, I want you to help me with my social media. I want my social media folks, I want you to say, I'm Ben Crump, and I get my news on the wake-up call with Reverend Sheffield.
Yes.
I'm civil rights attorney Ben Crump, and I get my news on the wake-up call with Reverend Sheffield.
Yeah.
All right.
So I was going to add one little tidbit because it's interesting in my personal trials and some things I've been going through. God had to remind me, Lexi, of what you were saying. He said, if I brought you out the fiery furnace, I can keep you from drowning in shallow water.
Okay.
So we've been through worse.
Yeah.
Is your point, and we came through it, and we made it because we did something about it. Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. Hello, Attorney Crump, Sabrina Athena. My question is, now that we have been through so many struggles as African Americans, and you've done incredible work for us, moving on in this post-crack era, right? We're talking about new regimes and everything. What is the difference, and how can we commune now between the raping and the lynching and the horrible things that people have to visually experience, witnessing with their eyes, their hands, their spirits, and now it's different. And the action isn't as urgent because it's a little more veiled. Can you give us some insight on what you see this today's social justice fight is really about, and how we can really be instrumental about it?
Certainly. Again, two responses to that very important question. Sabrina, I think it was.
Yes.
Number one, we must remember what Harriet Tubman said. She said, I saved 100 slaves, and I could have saved 100 more if they knew they were not free, that they were in slavery. You know, a lot of our sisters and brothers still don't realize it, but this regime, this administration has declared war on Black and brown people. I mean, literally. Thank God for the Mary Sheffields and the new leaders who are emerging, because in every crisis, there is an opportunity.
Yes.
And so we need our next Harriet Tubmans, our next, Frederick Douglasses and Carter G. Woodsons. But I say that to say this. They're coming for us all. I mean, they don't care what your education is. They don't care what your qualifications are. They don't care about your job titles or anything. They're coming for us all. I mean, when they're coming for 4-star generals who have checked every box and saying that they're not qualified, they're coming for, the first Black woman to be the head of the Federal Reserve, Dr. Cook. You can't find nobody more qualified than that sister. I mean, checked every box, and I know because I've given some legal counsel to them. And I mean, it's just ludicrous where he just makes up things about her having some kind of mortgage fraud when it's not true at all. But when you have defamation of character by the leader of the free world, then that is critical and crucial. I mean, and so there are no safe neutrals for any of us. They're coming for all of us. So you might as well go ahead and be ready to fight. I mean, if they're coming for you anyway, I mean, all of us are
called the
dead.
case of if we must die, let us not be slaughtered like hogs, right?
Exactly.
So I mean, I love that term, no safe neutrals.
Yeah.
Right.
There is no place that anybody's safe in this current climate. Ed?
Yep.
But let me say this on that.
Wait, sure.
Because, a lot of us, Negroes who have these degrees and have the corporate jobs, they think, well, if I just sit at the table and I'm quiet and I don't say anything, don't rock the boat per se, then maybe they won't do nothing to me.
Yeah, right.
Well, this administration made it clear. It don't matter. The color of your skin predicates the fact that they believe you are inferior. And they think you are, you got a white man spot. And so look at the cabinet. I mean, they don't have anybody, Harley, that looks like you or I, that comes from our culture, comes from our experience. And so, I like what my frat brother, 85 years young, Billy Murphy, civil rights lawyer, say. Me and him talk all the time. He say, I get it. This is scary times, and there's some people who just gonna have fear. And God bless you. But if you're scared, say you're scared and get out the way so people like
That's it.
Reverend
Yeah.
Sheffield
That's it.
can go
Move.
fight for our people.
There you go.
We need space.
There you go, Ed.
Yeah, and I really want your take on what's going on with Trump and this revenge tour he's supposedly on. You know, we all know that he's a criminal and he's committing criminal acts in violation of the Constitution. But what is your take on it? You know what I mean? I know how I think about it, but I'd like to hear another view.
Well, you know, it's like I was just saying, and you know, I'm sure all of us on this enemies list, me and Sheffield, we on the enemies list, and you know, we understand that. Some people don't understand they're on the enemies list.
Yeah.
I go back to something else. Bill and I were saying what I think of that there. I think that we have to have that Asada Shakur mentality.
Oh yeah,
You know, that sister said, nowhere in the world, nowhere in history has oppressed people gained their freedom by appealing to the moral sense of the people that were oppressing them.
Thanks.
This administration don't have no morality. They don't care about humanity. Look at what ICE is doing. I mean, and so what Billy Murphy said, he said, you know, Brother Crump, every time I see you on TV, I just get happy, I get proud. He said, because I know no matter what the case is, you're going to speak truth to power. He said, you see, Brother Crump, we got enough educated Negroes in America. He said, we got enough intelligent Negroes in America. He said, what we seem to lack is Negroes who got courage in America today to speak truth to power. I mean, my grandmother said, shame on you, baby, if you don't speak truth to power after everything we done sacrificed for you. I mean, getting up on the early bus to go work at other people's houses and take care of their children and cook food for them and clean their commodes while we had left your parents and grandparents to fend for themselves, all because we were sacrificing for a day like this when you will have an opportunity to have a seat at the table. You will be inside the room. You can give a voice to those Black and brown people who would never have a voice inside those rooms. And you go in there and you don't speak truth to power for our people, then shame on you. So, Ed, that's what I think about on this revenge tour. We got to have Negroes who got courage to speak truth to power. And that's why I love Horace Reverend Sheffield so much, because, you know, you got those brothers who walk the walk and talk the talk. And he's one of those brothers that do both.
All right, Rev.
So
you know what?
hold on a second, Ed. Hold on, we ain't got a certain amount of
song about
time.
it.
It's
Listen
my
quick.
turn. No, you'll be in a minute. I know you're a quickie.
It's actually my turn.
I thought you wasn't gonna talk.
Well, you put me first. I
Okay,
ain't
well
gonna
go
first.
ahead.
You know,
Well, the last shall be first. Go
I
right
was
ahead.
in shock
Right.
of who you had today. Attorney Crump, my name is Lexi, and I walked in here and I looked at the screen and he said, "Hey, you want to go first?" I said, "Wait a minute, hold up." I couldn't even believe, I had to process it for a minute.
Let me think
my
about
question, my question to you is you've walked with families in some of our most defining cases of injustice in our communities. My question is more about you. You hold their hands when the cameras go off.
That's right.
How do you not get tainted by this world and the injustices that you see that are so deep? How do you build yourself back up so that you are no longer jaded and maybe you're depressed and you can't get out of bed because what you see when the cameras go off? Because the grief just doesn't stop.
How do you dance in darkness, Doc? But you're saying, I mean, you deal with these families one-on-one. It's obviously a lot of grief, right? And I know you because I've seen how you work, and I know he's an extremely personal guy. You know, he's not just like a shallow connectedness.
Yes.
He literally is like Jesus wept kind of guy.
Wow.
But go ahead.
Thank you so much, Lexi, for that. Very important question, and thank you for the kind words that you said, Queen. Thurgood Marshall is my personal hero. And when I think about this question, I often again turn to him for guidance, because you're absolutely right. You wouldn't be human if this didn't affect your psyche and your mentality. I mean, I think even now about Breonna Taylor's mother, I mean, the one officer that has been put in prison, not for killing Breonna, but for shooting in a wall. What is this administration saying? They are petitioning for him to get out of prison because they said that the Biden administration never should have charged the police officers. I mean, they're trying to sanction these extrajudicial killings by, police on our people. But that's another issue. I think about that. I think about, Trayvon's mother. Think about Sandra Bland's mother. All these sisters and brothers that we've represented. Sawyer Massey's father, the sister said, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." And the police officer in Springfield, Illinois said, "Oh no, effing you won't. I'll shoot you in your effing face." And then stepped around the counter in her house and shot her in her face. Yeah. And she was all of 5'2", 110 pounds, and he's 6'1", 240 pounds, but yet he kills this sister who committed no crime, was having a mental health crisis. And so I say all those things and say those examples to say, yeah, it affects your mental psyche constantly. But what I try to do is think about Thurgood Marshall. So you're there with those families trying to help them make sense of something that makes no sense at all. And so you can't give way to emotions. You can't, exhibit your PTSD, because you got to be strong for them to give them some foundation to start to try to go on the journey towards justice. And so a lot of times you find yourself compartmentalizing, like Thurgood Marshall said, we got to stay focused on the objective, keep our eyes on the prize, because if we can help this family get justice, then, as Thurgood said, it will help prevent other Black people from being lynched. Yeah. And so that's what I'm trying to do, keep my eyes on the prize and decompartmentalize in my mind all the mental anguish and so forth that we have to experience, to keep our eyes on the prize so we can have less, Trayvon's, less George Floyd's, less Breonna Taylor's. And so every day I'm focused on that. And I pray to God every day that, Lord, give me the strength to go out and fight these devils yet again. And I try to work out every day. I try to eat right, because, our health is our wealth. That's right. It doesn't matter how much, wealth you accumulate. If you ain't got the health, none of it matters.
None of it's right. You can't do nothing
And
that way.
so I want Black people to start taking our health more seriously. We got to start eating better, get rid of all that sugar and these sodas, because it's not good for us. And Reverend Al said this, and this, I must say this. I know you didn't ask this question. Reverend Al said something so deep to me, Reverend Sheffield, and that's our guy. He said, Crump, you got to take care of yourself now, because you're important to our people. You're important to our future. So you got to start eating right, doing all this stuff. And Rev said, he said, man, I remember going to see the doctor, and the doctor said something similar to me that I'm telling you, Al, you're important to our people. You got to take care of yourself. And Rev said he was in terrible shape. He said he was like 5'7", 240, 250 pounds. Just bad shape. And the doctor asked him, he said, you know, how old was your father when he died? And Rev said something like 65. I don't remember the details. He said, how old is the oldest black man? How old was the oldest man live in your family? He said, well, I had an uncle that, you know, lived to 66. I think that's the oldest I know that lived. And he said, and your siblings, have you, any of your siblings died? He said, yeah, I had a brother. He died at 63 years old. And Rev said he was 59. He said the doctor looked at him for a straight face. He said, so what's different for you? That's right. And Rev said it stopped him dead in his tracks because based on what the doctor was saying, he had about 5 years and then he was going to be checking out. That's right. And so he said, you know, he said, Crump, our parents and our grandparents, they had an excuse. Mm-hmm. We don't have no excuse. We got all the intelligence in the world. We know who our family killers are. We know if it's hypertension or diabetes or high blood pressure. He said, we know, so we have no excuse. I mean, yet we got all this intelligence about who our family killers are, and yet we get up every morning and we go celebrate with our killers, eating that sugar and eating that swine or whatever that causes your body to become more toxic with these things we're putting into it. He said we can't blame the man for what we are putting in our mouths, for us not going to exercise. We can blame him for a lot, but we can't blame him for that. And I say to you, Reverend Sheffield, and your audience, y'all, it is so crucial because I do think the powers that be in America want to keep us stupid and unhealthy. Yeah. Because we then say we're easier to control and yet easier to
So I have 1 minute left. Just want to wrap up by saying, you know, we've been involved with Choose Healthy Life. Reverend Sharpton and I, Kelvin Butch, Raphael Warnock, and 2 others founded Choose Healthy Life. And that's the whole point. And Reverend and I have talked about this. It's one thing to do something about what folk do to us. It's another for us not to be here, which is what we do to ourselves. I want to leave you with something I heard at 8670 Grand River. Thurgood Marshall was a friend of my dad's. Did a little short poem called America. America, 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 land of the free, home of the brave. America, be America, because God knows America has never been America to me. That's what we're fighting, and you do real well at that. See you next time. You are first online.
All right. It's for y'all, Reverend Horace Sheffield.
Congratulations again, Reverend Sheffield. Tell Mayor Sheffield I say congratulations.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's your girl, Randy Rosario, comedian and TV host. I get my Saturday wake-up call with my guy, Reverend Horace Sheffield. Think about it. Good day.
I'm Sheriff Raphael Washington, Wayne County, and I get my Saturday morning wake-up every Saturday morning from Reverend Horace Sheffield, and you should too.
Every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. on 1500 a.m. or 92.7 FM. The wake-up call with the Reverend Horace Sheffield.
Hey, this is City Council President Mary Sheffield. I get my Saturday morning wake-up call from my dad, Reverend Horace Sheffield.
What up, though? It's your girl T-Barb, and I get my morning call with Reverend Sheffield. Make sure y'all tune in every Saturday morning. It's good.
Every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. on 1500 a.m. or 92.7 FM. The wake-up call with the Reverend Horace Sheffield.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's your girl, Randy Rosario, comedian and TV host. I get my Saturday wake-up call with my guy, Reverend Horace Sheffield. Think about it. Good day.
I'm Sheriff Raphael Washington, Wayne County, and I get my Saturday morning wake-up every Saturday morning from Reverend Horace Sheffield, and you should too.
Every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. on 1500 a.m. or 92.7 FM. The wake-up call with the Reverend Horace Sheffield.
This is Super Bowl champion Lomas Brown, and I get my Saturday morning wake-up call from Reverend Horace Sheffield, my man.
This is Grover in Kansas, and I get my wake-up call from Reverend Horace Sheffield every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. on 1500 a.m. or 92.7 FM. The Wake Up Call with the Reverend Horace Sheffield. See you there.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your man Mike Epps, and I get my Saturday morning wake-up call from Reverend Sheffield. Make sure you get yours.
I'm Hester Wheeler, and I get my Saturday morning wake-up call from Reverend Horace Sheffield.
Every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. on 1500 a.m. or 92.7 FM. The Wake Up Call with the Reverend Horace Sheffield.
It's for y'all. It's for y'all, Reverend Horace Sheffield, in the Wake Up Call.
All righty, y'all make some noise up in here. This is exactly what I envision. You know, technology is something else. And just so you know, Jamal Bryant's coming on. We got Keith Ellison from Minnesota be on.
You got Jay coming on?
Who?
Jay? I've been knowing him. She's like,
Well, yeah, that's my buddy. That's my. They all call me their grandfather, their godfather. Now, you know, I do a lot of encouraging to Jamal. I didn't want to bring it up, but one of the things we got to do, we got to get our own house in order. You know, the way they go, the way some of the leaders that we all know went after him, and I told them to worry about it, man, because nobody supported King. I mean, you know, Jackson from the National Baptist Convention, they all went after King.
Yeah.
But we're going to have all them on. Reverend Sharpton's going to be on. And if you have any ideas about folks you'd like to see in our on our screen on the show, see this young man over here, Gerald Smith, our producer.
Yes. The best producer.
That one. Yeah. So we have a person who the internet has modulated and moderated, because when she comes on, it's like an earthquake in social media. You know, it's like so many people watch her stuff at one time that they have to kind of schedule it so it doesn't upset and throw it off altogether. And that's, of course, Lexi Allen, gospel singer, actress, and TV personality. How you doing?
I'm great. I usually don't get up this early on.
Well, did you do it just for me?
I did. Please believe it.
Yeah.
Oh, everybody who knows me knows. I called one of my friends on the way here. He said, "Why are you what is everything all right?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, you know." Dr.
Well, why
Sheffield
me?
called.
Why am I so special?
Because you're that guy. You're him.
Okay.
Period.
All right. Well, make
Here we
sure.
are.
Well, we're gonna have to get a bigger studio.
Okay. Well, let me just straighten something out here. First of all, people can accuse me a lot, but I'm not a self-promoter.
Oh,
I will be real clear about that. I do the work for the work's sake.
Right.
And I'm gonna give you. I spent yesterday, David, talking to 3 people who have done remarkable things, helping other people, and they were so discouraged. And I had to tell them about Ralph Van Ness. One of the things I've been blessed with is my dad and my mother always helped me when I got to those places where, you know, there were things that just didn't seem right, or, you know, people didn't respect, you know, your benevolence. And he has a piece, every ought to read it, Ralph Van Ness, former president of Vanderbilt University, called Regardless of Others. You know, you gotta do stuff regardless of others. People ain't all pumping you up and promoting you and, you know, encouraging you. I mean, people love Jesus but can't stand nobody else. Y'all been helping me up in here.
That's right.
So you gotta find, you got to encourage yourself.
David did it.
Encourage yourself with psalms and spiritual, you know, melodies. Anyway, we don't let. So how did you get to be so big? How did you start this whole? And by the way, you actually, if you ever watch her stuff, I mean, she does characters, and I mean, just a plethora of things that add to, you know, what you're trying to message. You know what I mean?
It started off as a dare. I was dating this one guy, and he said, you know, nobody knows that you're funny. You're always so serious. You know, you work at the Word Network, you co-host on BET,
right,
and on the Bobby Jones show, and nobody knows that you're funny. And he said that's a travesty. And so he dared me to do a skit on YouTube. So I did a skit on YouTube, and I looked, and it was 100 people that saw it. I said, "Oh my God!"
Wow.
Then I looked back, and it was 300. Then it kept going up, and then so I did another one, and it was 1,000, and then it just kept going, and it just turned in. But it's not something that I was looking for.
Right.
And I find that when you go looking for the light always
It runs from
It
you.
runs
Yeah,
from you.
Yeah.
And I find that when you just do stuff,
When
that
you- when
God
you-
will lead you, where God leads you, the light will absolutely
Right.
find you. So
That's right.
Well, I got to tell people, I don't preach to get paid. I get paid for my preaching. And people around me have heard, they've heard me say 100 times, like God has prospered me. But when I chased money, it ran. But when I was in my purpose,
yes, sir.
the provision was
There's
there,
no
right?
question. Right. There's
He
no
gives you
question.
provision for vision.
That's how I know.
Ed, you gonna go first today because I know Ed is just over there, don't know what he's gonna do with himself.
Look at, I'm enjoying sitting next to it.
That's what I said. That's what I said.
That's right. You know I don't play, but I'm a player.
Ed has never seen a pretty woman that did not move him in some way.
That's correct, but
Yeah.
you know it's mutual though, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it is.
Oh,
yes, it is. Yes, it is.
See?
Come
Now,
on, Ed.
you know, you kind of giving us an idea of how you started with the social media.
Yes, sir.
But your advocation for social justice, you know, it's fine to be funny, but when it's time to take care of business, what's your approach on that?
Wow. Well, I don't. You know what Attorney Crump said. You know, we need people with courage. I've never been scared of anything or anybody. You know, and being in Detroit, you know, I'm originally from Ohio, so I'm so sorry about the game today. I apologize in advance.
Oh, so you apologizing to Ohio?
She's a Buckeye.
I'm a Buckeye. So
What is-
I was born
She's
in
a
Columbus.
Buckeye.
What is a Buckeye?
Don't worry about it.
Ah, see?
Don't worry about that.
Kind of like a chestnut.
Yeah, don't worry about that. But
Oh, by the way, we do have something in common though.
what's that?
I'm a Sigma, you're a Zeta.
There's no-
We found that out the other day.
We did.
Yeah,
We
didn't know
did.
that. Yes.
Yes, sir. And
Yeah.
I'm happy about
And I know what a Buckeye is.
Yeah.
I would guess so.
There you go. Okay.
There it is.
No, I went to U of M. So, but anyway, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, you know, I've never been afraid of anything.
Right.
And so I stand up. And now I'm at, you know, I just finished my master's in May. at Virginia Union
Congrats.
University.
Congrats.
You are Masters of Divinity?
Yes, sir.
Wow, from
And,
Virginia Union.
Yes, and I'm in the-
Famous seminary.
No question about it.
Yeah.
And I'm in the doctoral program now.
Wonderful. Oh, wow.
There.
Yeah.
And so
Amazing.
and I think somebody that you should
Yeah.
have on your show is our president, Dr. Hakeem
We'd be happy to do that. Now,
Lucas.
you know, I'm seminary trained, and there was a great conflict over the years between, you know, the letter and the spirit. But I am professionally trained. I mean, I've been to seminary 4 times, have a plethora of degrees, including biblical studies, went to Union Seminary. That's my relationship with Cornell and other folks.
Okay.
And I think it's important to say this about seminary education is you got to know the Lord
Period.
before you go to school.
You better.
Because there's some things, some
Yes.
higher forms of biblical criticism and all that that'll make you wonder, you know,
Absolutely.
whether you really know Jesus.
You better know it.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
And I tell a little story if I can. This is really funny because you're gonna be here for a while. A young man who grew up in a Southern church that was full of fire, you know, and his father was the pastor, and his father died. He came back from seminary, and his grandmother got him an opportunity to preach at the church.
I know this story.
And so, you know, he did his exegesis, you know, prepared a 24-page manuscript and went to preach. And, you know, nobody shook his hand. Nobody was moved. And he went home. He said, Grandma, man, that was my best research. I mean, I studied the text. I even did some hermeneutics, some eisegesis. I mean, the whole thing. And she said, well, do everything you did last week. But before you go, come see me. And so he went in the room with his 24-page manuscript. She said, let me see what you got. And she looked at it and and she tore it up. She said, now just go say a good word for Jesus.
That's right.
All right.
And
That's right.
he said a good word for Jesus. The whole church lined up. At the end of the line was a deacon say, congratulations, you are pastor.
That's right. That's right. You got to know him.
Got to know him for yourself. Yeah.
Our predecessors, you know, my granddad, he only had a 6th grade education, but he had one of the biggest Kojic churches in his city at his time. That's because he knew God. He knew him. He didn't know the Greek and the Hebrew.
Yeah.
He didn't know how to eisegete the text. He
Yeah.
didn't know what
Yeah.
any of that meant, but he knew God.
But if any man lacks wisdom, right?
Of
You
course.
ask God to bestow it. And the Holy Spirit is the ultimate teacher.
Of course.
You know what I mean? And so, you know, no matter what technique, higher forms of biblical criticism, whatever it is, which, by the way, I was blessed to study under Dr. William Myers and Kane Hope Felder. So I know about social location, which is an important part because where you sit determines how you read, you know. But anyway, this is an interesting conversation. And so you are preaching.
No.
You don't preach?
I mean, you know,
You don't come and minister?
Slow down, relax.
Yeah.
Relax a little bit. You know, I just came for the knowledge. I'm still learning. I don't
Are you still coaching?
No. I grew up.
You grew up in coaching.
Yeah.
So my first church was right across the street from F.D. Washington.
Okay.
Who was one of the top bishops in Kojic. Kelly's funeral was there. And this is my relationship to Sharpton, who I met in 75. I wasn't going to tell him that Sharpton weighed more than that. Literally, Sharpton would have to ride in the back seat of my Volkswagen because he couldn't fit in the front. That's how far back we go, okay?
Wow.
But anyway, Sabrina.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Sabrina, Athena, that's me.
There you go.
So you was talking about being, brought up in the church and the Kojic church and everything. And, and was that the typical story? I was in the church, I started singing. Was that for you?
Sure. Oh, yeah. No, if they find out that you can do anything,
you doing it
at an early age, you gonna do it. You don't have a choice. I used to
ministry.
run. That's it. I used to run downstairs, and my granddaddy would grab me and go have somebody grab me and say, "Oh no, she get ready to get up." And you don't sing just one song. You're gonna sing a couple.
Oh yeah, you better have a good breakfast that morning.
That's it. There's no choice. But I wouldn't have it any other way. The church. The Black church, people have a lot to say about that. I don't want to give the church my money, and I don't want to make the pastor rich. Well, first of all, that's ridiculous. And this is what I say to people that say things like that. You have a problem with something that you went through at a church, perhaps, and you get church hurt. And I'm doing air quotes. You get church hurt, but then there's no other place other than the Black church where you do that. You get in a relationship, somebody breaks your heart. You don't stop being in relationships. You find somebody else that's better. You go to a job, your boss is trash. You don't just stop working. You find a better position. But only in the Black church do we give up and we say, I'm never going back. I'm not doing it again.
It's the easiest way to devalue God because valuable relationships take patience.
So, but here's what I say I have members here, right?
Yeah.
The church still is and always be the safest place on earth.
I agree.
But it's not necessarily filled with the safest people.
Okay.
I agree.
That's right.
I agree.
But I'm not going to lose my connection to him because of them.
People will say, but I can find him at home.
Yeah, well, but there's something that happens when they were all together in one place. Come on now,
that's right.
On one accord. There's
elaborate.
something I get through visitation that I won't get through consecration.
That's right.
Because he does something different when two or three are gathered together.
Yes.
You
know what I'm saying?
I always explain.
And let me tell you one thing. I'm on my roll now. Because I'm actually writing a book called Pots and Pans and Whistles because I sat through New Light where they were banging on pots and pans and whistles trying to get rid of a pastor who had to wear a bulletproof vest. I don't need God to remove anybody. If God doesn't want that person there, he'll do it. But the whole point is we get in the way. We just get in the way. And I tell people, I these people, but let me just quiet down. Most of the people I've heard say that are primarily the ones that are the problem.
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And if we would just work on ourselves.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Amen. Yes, sir.
I'll stop right there.
No, because most people don't look at themselves as being corrupt or wrong.
Yeah, but see, and I used to be ridiculed because God called me to talk about y'all like Paul, y'all, right? And and one of the things that people love to say, that love to hear me say, and I say it all the time, and I've asked people to prove me wrong. I say some of the most ungodly folk in the world are in the church.
Yes.
They love Jesus, can't stand nobody else, so busy on the way to heaven, they tell everybody else to go to hell.
Absolutely.
Now, if you're that right and you think they're that wrong, you leaving allows wrong to prevail.
Yes, sir.
Because a little yeast leavens the whole loaf.
That's right.
I need to shake y'all up. I need to make y'all feel uncomfortable. Come on now.
That's right. You talking right.
Yeah, you're going to be at home in the bed. That bed ain't helping nobody see the right Jesus.
Not at all.
Well, go ahead and preach because Saturday is the Sabbath.
I don't need a day to preach on.
He said, Lexi, I need one more follow-up question on this.
Of the goodness of the Lord.
When you actually, like, because you seem like a peer, so I know we had the same similar growing up times,
Yeah.
and you got a voice, you got this talent, you got this love for God. At what point did you decide, okay, I'm gonna stay in the church and not go secular? Was that a decision, or was it just a natural path and everybody saw how incredible you were, and then they were like, go be on the Word Network?
Oh, that's hilarious. No, I used to sing background for Gerald Levert. When I was in college, I sang background for Gerald, and I was getting ready to make it a thing. They had cut 3 songs on me as a solo project. I was part of the camp, and then but I always knew Fred Hammond, and I remember I came to visit Detroit, and Fred took me to meet his pastor at the time, and his pastor prophesied to me. Pastor Reginald Morris Lane prophesied to me and said, "Hey,
bless his spirit, by the way."
Yeah.
I knew Reggie.
Yeah, he said, "I don't know who you are."
Yeah.
He said, "But can I talk to you for a minute?"
Right.
He said, "Whatever you've been doing for the last 2.5 years," and that's how long I have been with Gerald Levert.
Right.
He said, "God said that is not for you and that is not your path."
Mm.
God said, "I have a path for you and that's not it." Because I kept saying, why won't they finish the album? They could never finish the record. They kept putting things, other artists in front of me, and I was so angry. And when Pastor Lane prophesied to me, and it's my first, I never saw the man a day in my life, and he said, "Something you've been doing for the past 2.5 years, God said, don't blame them. God said, I closed that door."
Yeah.
Period.
And that's a door you can't walk in.
And the problem with too many of us is we stand in front of the door that's been closed. We don't see the one that's been open.
Yes, sir.
I remember seeing you over at his church,
Absolutely.
over on Greenfield. Best friends with Michael Fortner. They went to grade school together.
Okay.
And Mike's been a member of my church off and on, but I never have seen Mike as enthralled and as captured as he was around Reggie. So that perked me up.
Yeah.
Because I've known Mike Fortner for 40 years.
Wow.
And anyway, so here's the thing. I think it's important to parse this real quick because we get confused about calling, right?
Yes, sir.
Every person in here that comes to Jesus was called by Jesus. We want to make calling like you were called to preach or you were called to minister. And I know there's a call on your life because that's what Reggie told you.
Yeah.
Can you unpack that, or what are your thoughts on that? Because I think too many of us think, no, that's something for somebody else to do. When they are just acts of kindness.
Yes, sir.
That a calling can be on your life to perform, right?
Yeah, my thing is this: if you are alive today and you're drawing breath in any type of way,
Mm.
you have been called to do something. If we look at COVID and we look at how
Come
many
on.
people weren't here and God kept
Yeah.
us through a plague
Yeah.
that we didn't know what it was, we didn't know how we could contract it, we didn't know how to heal ourselves. It was something that was in the air. Remember
Yeah.
when we were
Yep.
confused and we were stuck in our homes and we were watching TV
Yeah.
trying to get information about something that was through the air
Right.
that could possibly kill us.
Mm.
And God kept us through that.
Yeah.
If you are still drawing breath,
Yes.
it is not by happenstance. There is something inside of you, no matter how insignificant you believe that you are, there is something inside of you that God has for you to do. It could be as simple as giving somebody something to eat. He could have kept you alive to help that person.
That could have been
It
it.
could be something as simple as saying something nice to somebody.
Yeah.
You have no idea what a kind word can do to somebody who has suicidal ideation.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So I think this.
Don't
is-
get me
this-
started
this-
on that.
No, this,
Okay,
this is
girl.
rich, and like I'm at the point now because I do know the Bible that I always take it back to Scripture.
Yes,
There
sir.
was a time that I had other influences, because I was raised in, as I mentioned, I knew Langston Hughes, I slept in King's house. I mean, those things had some authority on me, but the word is what has precedence. And the Bible says, Jesus says, whoever gives a cup of water
Yes, sir.
to a little one
Yes, sir.
shall in no wise lose their reward.
But the
A
problem
cup of water.
But the problem is people don't think that's significant.
No, we want
Watch
the
this.
big stuff. We want the big stuff.
And what we're doing is we're watching on social media. We're watching people do the big things, get
Yeah.
the houses,
Yeah.
have vacations on yachts. And let me tell you
Well,
something, y'all better stop looking
yeah,
at that
listen.
because a lot of that is not real.
No.
It's not.
Well, Mike Epps, is my buddy, and I'll look it up, maybe send it to you. Does a fabulous piece on some radio show. He was saying, like, man, when you dead, your gold and all. I mean, he talks about that, and he says
sir.
basically, you know, what life is really about, and what really gets God's attention is how you treat people. And if you've been given stuff, he said,
right.
I got a friend of mine, they got thousands of dollars on their fingers and on their and won't buy nobody breakfast or dinner.
That's the truth.
The little stuff.
I mean, if you've been
those
given
atomic
let me say this, I'm gonna be done. Whatever you've been given,
yes, sir.
God gave it to you, not for you, but for others.
Amen.
And the degree to which you share what you have with others, he gives you more for you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Athena.
Right. No, I was saying that's atomic habits, that big thing that comes over all that time. And
By the way, we're
this is my
having
third time
church
reading
here.
That book.
Somebody say amen.
Amen.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Somebody praise the Lord up in here.
Praise.
Somebody say Jesus. Is he all right?
All right.
I'm
God
sorry,
is
Athena.
good
I'm getting
all the
happy right
time.
here. You want to hold my mule.
So the door closed, and you went God's way. You answered the call.
I didn't have a choice.
And
I did. Well, you do have a choice, but I've been with God long enough to know that my way eventually is going to come around to His way.
Yeah.
And I'd rather just do as He
Just cut
wants and do what He says than to hit my head a few times, because God has a way of you gonna do what he wants you to do eventually. If not now,
And thank God we don't look like what we've been through, hitting our heads. Okay,
See,
'Cause
that's
it could've
why.
been some bruises.
That's why the
Yes,
life.
ma'am.
By the way, I have a post out there that's going really well, and people comment
Okay.
because I'm explaining about at this point in my life, I'm trying to not waste the Lord's grace
Yes.
on back end deliverance, right? Because if I had listened to him on the front end, I
That's
wouldn't
it.
need him as much on the back end.
That's it.
And I don't need him to prove to me anymore that he can work signs, miracles, and wonders.
That's
What
right.
I need to do is have my ears open a little bit more and hear him. So I mean, we're having a great time. You know,
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
wonderful for me.
Lexi's got a good personality.
And well, you know, I
see
knew
why you on TV.
Yeah, I knew we had to have her here. I knew our ratings are right now catapulting. Nielsen doesn't know what to do right now. Is there an earthquake over there on Grand River in Wyoming? But let's talk about something that's near and dear to me, right? Which is, I was talking with a lady talking about church that was a member of my church on the east side, which I was there 15 years. I left, and I brought this over here. And there were some very deliberate things that I was not going to have happen over here. I went to a church that was, 60 some years old, 2 families, a couple thousand people joined in the 15 years, but I could only hold on to about 500 of them because of the infighting in the sense of whose church it belongs to. And like over here, we don't have that issue. We know whose church it is. It's Jesus's church.
That's
Now,
right.
Jesus
The
has some
people's
folks
church.
he's put in position, right? And so this whole notion of church hurt and the body of Christ is something that I think in this dispensation, right? As the Lord speaks to me, is that, as I said, the church still is the safest place on earth, right? That he really wants to empower his church, right? To bring his church back to his word, and it being a place where the Bible says in one text when the 3 wise men come, I'm all over the place, but I read the simplicity of scripture, and the Bible says, and the wise men went back another way.
I missed that.
And they didn't want to go back through Herod because Herod had asked them to bring news.
Yeah.
Because Herod didn't want to really worship him. He wanted to get rid of him because it was a competition to him being king, because there are small kings, but there's the King of Kings. But the whole point is, to me, as I'm telling my church, that's what God wants Sunday morning to be, for us to go back another way.
Another way.
That's good.
How do we get back to that point? Because I see so much showmanship in churches.
Don't start.
I went to a church down in Florida. I'm blessed to be a member of New Bethel there because I have a place in Florida. He's preaching for us for our 15th anniversary. And this church is 100-some years old. I mean, you talking about, movement and frenetic activity and folks falling out, and I felt nothing. And and the guy who was doing the camera looked at me. He said, I think you get it, don't you? I said, get what? That this ain't nothing but a show. Then I went to this other church, and I think, Leverett, you went to New Bethel, to this church with this younger pastor and all these young people. And I mean, the spirit was so real in that church, so much love in that church, And I just don't know how do we do because churches are closing. Lyle Shallow said for the first time in the history of Christianity, more believers than belongers. He asked them why. He said, well, me and God are fine. It's the rest of them folk I got trouble with. How do we get back? How do we get back to when I was a child and I saw people a generation removed from slavery crying and weeping and moaning because they knew that they needed God and they trusted God for everything and they put everything in his hand. And I'm done now. And they had a character, right? They weren't always the best people. They wasn't always the holiest people, but they had a character that convinced them that they had to be more Christ-like.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? They had to bear witness to having met Jesus.
Yes, sir.
I know that's a lot.
Well,
It is. How do we get back to the church?
Well, you know what though? We need more people to believe with their hearts and not their
No, the
mouths.
problem is not belief. The problem is not belief. The problem is behavior.
Well,
All the people believe in Jesus, but they don't behave like they know it.
Well,
that's what I'm saying.
alluding to.
The truth of the matter is we are living in the last days.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And
You
that's
believe
that. And that's that.
Okay.
I don't think we'll ever get back to that, how it was when I was growing up. You know, we don't even barely see the mothers in the church anymore. You know, there were mothers in the church that would come up to you and say, baby, put your skirt down, baby. And we don't have the mothers like we used to.
Yeah.
So I don't think we'll ever get back to that. But one thing that I know that there always will be a remnant.
Yeah.
There's always going to be those who love him for real.
Yeah.
Upon this rock, I will
Yeah.
build my church.
Yeah.
And the gates of hell will not prevail against it. So we'll always have a remnant, but I don't think we're ever going to get back there. We just got to do our part.
So how much time we got? So this reminds me, you told my last days.
Yes, sir.
So I was in New York driving down the West Side Highway. It won't take me a minute. And
You were driving in New York?
yeah, I lived there. So I was in cement.
It's
So
okay
I'm
to
in the
drive in New
Volkswagen,
York.
and the
It
preacher
is.
comes on. He says, God has shown me when the end will be. And I will tell you right after this. I said to him, my God, it can't be that quick because he's taking the commercial. Because that's right. God has shown me when the end will be. And you want to told me? Soon. We'll be right back after this.
Right, okay.
No. Oops. Did you hit your nose? Did you hit your head?
I hit my head.
You better check your mic. Hey, Horace, you better check the mic because the head ain't hurt.
Okay.
The head
Now,
ain't
Gerald,
hurt.
according to my mic, it's 9:26.
I'm live on the air, man.
We up? Huh?
It's for y'all. It's for y'all, Reverend Horace Sheffield, and the wake up call.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's your girl, Randy Rosario, comedian and TV host. I get my Saturday wake-up call with my guy, Reverend Horace Sheffield. Think about it. Good day.
I'm Sheriff Raphael Washington, Wayne County, and I get my Saturday morning wake up every Saturday morning from Reverend Horace Sheffield, and you should too.
Every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. on 1500 AM or 92.7 FM. The wake-up call with the Reverend Horace Sheffield.
This is Super Bowl champion Lomas Brown, and I get my Saturday morning wake-up call from Reverend Horace Sheffield, my man.
This is Grover in Kansas, and I get my wake-up call from Reverend Horace Sheffield every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. on 1500 AM or 92.7 FM. The wake-up call with the Reverend Horace Sheffield. See you there.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your man Mike Epps, and I get my Saturday morning wake-up call from Reverend Sheffield. Make sure you get yours.
I'm Hester Wheeler, and I get my Saturday morning wake-up call from Reverend Horace Sheffield.
Every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. on 1500 AM or 92.7 FM. The wake-up call with the Reverend Horace Sheffield.
In the wilds of Michigan, billboard lawyers hunt their prey. Big hair, bold promises, and huge guarantees. But the personal injury lawyers at Goodman Acker are a different breed. Instead of making noise, they focus on listening to you. Goodman Acker, 1-800-TRUSTED.
Hey, this is City Council President Mary Sheffield. I get my Saturday morning wake-up call from my dad, Reverend Horace Sheffield.
What up, though? It's your girl T-Barb, and I get my morning call with Reverend Sheffield. Make sure y'all tune in every Saturday morning. It's good.
Every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. on 1500 a.m. or 92.7 FM. The Wake Up Call.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's your girl, Randy Rosario, comedian and TV host. I get my Saturday wake-up call with my guy, Reverend Horace Sheffield. Think about it. Good day.
I'm Sheriff Raphael Washington, Wayne County, and I get my Saturday morning wake up every Saturday morning from Reverend Horace Sheffield, and you should too.
Every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. on 1500 a.m. or 92.7 FM. The Wake Up Call to the Reverend Horace Sheffield.
It's for y'all. It's for y'all, Reverend Horace Sheffield in the Wake Up Call.
All right, we're back in living color. You know, I like that little intro before we come in. Play that a little bit. You know, that little beat there.
That's for y'all.
No, not that. The one that was
Horace
playing.
Sheffield in the Wake Up
No, that's
Call.
not it. The one that sounds like a funky good time. Is he all right?
Yes.
Lord have mercy. I'm going to tell you something. I used to ask Lexi, what is the inaudible edification from a scream? You know, Paul said, I'd rather speak one word, right, that's discernible than to prophesy. And, you know, I used to ask my granddad, because my granddaddy found the Tabernacle New Light, and he said, man, sometimes you just got to shout. You got to make some noise, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
I've learned to appreciate it. Sometimes, you know, people just go, hey, you know.
My son would like to know that.
Yeah, her son is taken to me.
Yeah.
And I have
He thinks his first name is Reverend.
so
Nice.
let me just tell
I
you,
love that.
let me tell you how that is. And this is true. As you know, my dad was close to Dr. King. And I actually have I actually have a telegram from Coretta the night I preached my first sermon.
Oh, wow.
Because I had a chance to talk to her about this. There's only one conversation he and I ever had in my dad's basement. Other than that, I would stand 5 feet away from him and just look at him. And he would look at me. And I said to her, I said, you know, he was like, asking me, are you getting this? It was like osmotic absorption. I absorbed that man without him saying a word. The only thing he ever said to me, Lexi, was he was in the basement in my dad's house. Godfrey Cambridge, Nipsey Russell, all of them were there. And people were like, oh, I went to school with Christine, and I knew this, and I went to Spelman. And he said to me, he said, you see these people trying to impress me with who they are.
Yeah.
And I got a Nobel Peace Prize that I don't promote myself.
Jesus.
I mean, I mean, you know, I don't know if you know this, but his wife forced him to buy the house for 224 Sunset. They didn't have their own home.
Wow.
From the Nobel Peace Prize, but he's gonna give it all away. And you know what he was driving when he died? A 68 Chevy Biscayne.
Bro. I don't know what that
A 68?
A 68 Chevrolet Biscayne.
No,
That's like a Ford Galaxy.
Look, my first one was a 61.
Yeah.
This is them.
But you know, that gets
He does
back.
what he does.
So this gets back to the purpose of religion. We've gotten to the point where religion and relationship now is about my own personal enhancement as opposed to me being empowered to help other folks, right? If you have the anointing, show me some valley of dry bones you preach to come back to life. You know what I mean?
So good.
Right.
Well, we've lost humility.
Right.
So that's basically everything that you said about Dr. King and what a rich legacy that you've lived, that you've been able to witness.
And can I say something about that real quick? So, you know, 1963, my dad takes my sisters and I to Washington, meet with John Kennedy, and we went to Lyndon Johnson's house. It was to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the Emancipation Proclamation. I have photos, right? So my dad's having lunch with Lyndon Johnson. We're swimming in the swimming pool, right? And so on the way out, you know, I'm saying to my dad, I said, Dad, man, you were important. You know, my dad said, no, I ain't important. I'm trying to be valuable because they get rid of important people. Today, people want to be important. They don't want to be valuable. And valuable, he said, is how other people see you. Important is how you see yourself.
Yes, sir.
That's
That's
right.
so good.
Lord help me somebody.
That's what we've lost.
Yeah.
That's what we've lost.
And I don't know if it's
because we want to be big in people's eyes.
Well, I mean, that's like why people say, you know, the best thing, or maybe the worst thing happened to us was immigration and the absence of fire hoses. Because when we were all in the same lot, we acted different.
I believe that.
It's so good.
You know what I mean?
Classism will pull it apart.
Lord help us. So what do you think, and this is Rich, you know, I really want you to come back, and you can do it by screen and maybe even do a segment every now and then.
Yes.
We have a theme at New Destiny. We're moving into our new building, by the way, 1st of January. We're down the street of the old Bridge, the Bridge Center. We call ourselves trying to be church the way church is supposed to be.
Okay.
Okay, so if you had a small list of what that would look like, what it would be, and all my members take notes because, you know, I think when we talked about my dad, I think the problem we have at the church is the same problem that Jesus had. There was no room in the inn. So he had to be born somewhere else. Are y'all with me?
I'm here.
So the church is so full of us, there ain't no room for him.
Wow. Wow.
I've given a lot of thought to this.
I see.
You know, I mean, and the problem with that, Lexi, is if there's no room for him, then I'm going to leave with my cancer. I'm not going back another way. Right?
Yeah.
I'm going to leave the same way I came
Yes, sir.
because there's more of us in the church than there is of him.
I agree.
Yeah.
Our agenda.
Yeah.
What we want church to look like.
Yeah.
And the truth is, if people aren't being changed, then what are we doing? What are we doing?
Sounding brass and tinkling
That's
cymbals.
all. That's all we're doing. We're having some great songs.
Dead men
but,
walking.
but nobody's being touched.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
there are people that go to church for 30 years and they do it out of duty, burden, and obligation, and they don't meet God there.
Yeah.
They do it. It's more of a meeting place.
Yeah.
And
So I'm a comedian in some ways, right?
No
I
kidding.
was when I was
No
literally when I was 18, 19, and 20. I rode around in my blue pencil station wagon. I had $30,000 in the bank, bought my first house. So I like to be, you know, I like to be funny. And I tell people the worst thing in the world is for you to be in church 40 years and work with somebody like at the factory, and they come to your funeral and they find out for the first time that you knew Jesus and you went to church.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So I would have
That should be the
never
first
known that Negro was church.
That's true.
Athena, go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I'm thinking about this, and I want to know more about you. And you're incredibly gorgeous. If
Oh
you
my
cannot
God, what
see
is
this
going
woman,
Incredibly. Parallelly pretty.
we will take all right. And so within that Hollywood show business, all this fun stuff, you had this incredible personality. I know you've
None of that's true. Hollywood?
Probably.
Oh God.
Well, we have some things.
Listen, let me
here.
hold on. She's telling the truth because right now I got 3 text messages from the engineer saying every meeting we have is just rattling.
Rattling. It's earthquakes happening right now.
No.
Tell us about your relationship with Evander Holyfield.
You know, I was on Evander's record label many years ago. He had started a record label, and my manager at the time, right? That was crazy. And so, but I got on that, and I did 3 albums under his record label, and it was a good time.
I'm glad to hear
meeting
that
him.
because my heart was about to be broken.
What?
If I found out you was going with Evander Holyfield.
What, Evander? No.
Because you know what I'm gonna tell you.
We
Let me
later
tell
on
you-
in the show now.
No, but let me
by the
tell you
way.
why. Because I don't mind you having a field, but it can't be a Holyfield.
It can't be. No. It was
Sheffield, but not a Holyfield.
That's hilarious.
Yes, okay.
One of the greatest. He's one of the greatest people that I've met. He's one of the
Yeah.
most
Wow.
generous people that I've ever met. And he walked me around his 58,000 square foot home.
Wow.
At the time, 2 man-made lakes, a baseball diamond, a regulation baseball field, one of the biggest single-family swimming pools in the United States. I never seen.
Does he
anything
still
like
have
that.
money though?
I don't. I haven't talked to Evander in a long time.
That's one of the sad things
But
about
he
a
was
lot
one of the
folks.
most giving people.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That so much
I've
so
heard-
to
I've
his
heard about
own
that.
detriment.
Yeah, yeah.
to his own
Yeah.
detriment.
Yeah, I mean, that's creative to have man-made legs and the like. There's specific things you just said that tells me that he did some thinking about what he invested in.
Yeah.
So whether if he got money or not, at least he has something to sell.
Yeah. And he sold it. And he sold it.
And did, right?
Yeah.
So okay, so how, like, single, married, dating out here?
Super single, super want to date. Where they at?
I heard
David,
something
where
with
your friends at?
Don't-
David took my picture and said, I'm gonna send it to the fellas. Who fellas? What fellas? Where they at? What's
I
up,
was-
baby?
Hey, wait a minute, Dave.
I was told
But
boyfriends are out.
Yeah.
I was told boyfriends are out.
What does that mean?
It means it's no longer trendy. There's a lot of empowered women.
Better to marry than it's better to marry than to burn.
Is that what that
See,
scripture meant,
I think people. No, I look. I
What
think.
does it mean?
I think that people need to know whether they're compatible. I'm gonna just tell you.
That's right.
But I'll tell you, and a lot of men will get mad with me. Men say it's women. I think the reason we're messed up is because of men.
I agree.
I don't think men are what they were.
Yep, there's men.
My grandfather. This is true
hold
story.
up, hold up. Stop.
What?
You know what makes me angry?
What?
Is when there's single women like myself.
Right.
And y'all don't give us no hope. I
At
don't
all.
want to hear that.
I'm
I don't want to hear that.
I'm gonna give you some hope. No.
We'll start with hope.
Okay,
Lead with hope.
okay. I'll give you the hope.
And don't tell me
All
that they're men ain't what they used to be.
I'm going to give you the hope, right? First of all, the hope. Listen. The first of all, the hope is that too many women are trying to find them prepackaged and prepared and pre-made. I grew up in a generation where my grandmother and my mother made the men who they were.
I'm not gonna make no.
Okay, well,
Bring me back for that because we don't have enough time. Don't tell me that I gotta make a man.
Just ask God. Well, first of all, I'm talking about after the Lord has sent you the right person.
Let me say you for a minute.
That sounds like commitment to their greatness and your legacy. That's fine.
Does that make any sense?
Listen, let me finish what I'm trying to say.
Lord have mercy.
And maybe I misconstrued what I wanted to say.
Okay.
I'm just saying is that the difference in men today has a lot to do with the difference in women today. Women in my grandmother's generation expected more, right?
Okay.
Carried themselves better. You didn't get the goodies.
You right.
Right?
Now you talking right now.
Right. And then I tell you for a fact, my father and my grandfather both told me that they became the best man they were because of my grandmother and my mother. And let me tell you what they told me. They said, I changed, listen, hold up with all that noise. I changed them without them even knowing it.
You right.
That's right.
I'll give you that.
Without them even knowing. They had a way of doing things.
That's right.
And the point I'm going to make is this. My grandfather had 50 years in the foundry. Come home filthy dirty, worked in the foundry. And one day I said to my grandmama, Grandmama, Granddaddy is dirty. You know what she said to me? He's the best dirty man I know, and I love him. He clean the dirty because he go to work every day, come home every night, and he put food on this table.
Yes.
Now you love somebody that dress well, look well. I mean, come on, it's a snake.
I got a question.
I'll take a dirty
And the
man.
problem is
clean him up.
women think they can charm snakes.
No, and we cannot.
No, and they be good for the 5 minutes, but as soon as they get up, they right back to the same person.
So back to my question, where they at?
We got a question.
Where them things at?
We got an audience
Where them
question.
men at?
And you ain't helped me at all. but okay,
Gerald's
let's
mad
get
at
to
me.
the
Come on,
question.
yes, ma'am.
I'm still single, but go ahead.
Not even on.
The issue concerning the churches and what's lacking in the churches. I thought about, and I was going to address it to Pastor today, about a person here, and Pastor, the food is good, the service is good, everything is good. But there's a young lady that's sitting in the back with the red hat. When people come in, and I'm talking about the churches, I thought about her, and I was going to come to the pastor and tell him on last week, everything is good, but Gladys Knight made a song, Everybody Needs Love. This lady back here in red, Pastor, when we come in, there's love.
Yeah.
The church is missing that love
glad-
factor.
I'm
This
glad
is
you
what
went that
I'm
way, 'cause I
saying.
thought you
But the
about to
song said,
bust her up.
everybody needs love. You need love. I
Yeah.
need love.
We're gonna need to hear her
Everybody
over here
need
too.
love.
I can hear nothing.
We need each other.
Okay, I got that. I didn't know where she was going.
We need to love others.
I was
Me
nervous.
neither. I thought you about to talk about somebody.
Ross is that girl. But you said the mothers.
Listen,
The mothers.
we need to love others
At the door.
proportionally, right? This is proportion.
good.
We need to love others as Christ has loved us,
That's the
right?
truth.
And I don't understand people who claim that God gave them all of this and did all of that. You know, He's moved your mountains, but you can't lift a finger for nobody else.
I agree.
I don't understand it.
I
mean,
lift both hands
huh?
to the Lord and to my friends.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know where you got this mild manliness today. That ain't you.
Yeah.
With all this pink
The
hair.
coffee wasn't working.
Let's
this
get
morning.
back to finding me a date. I don't know how.
I know we was talking about something because if you
Well,
find
look,
a date, I might find one. Just
we'll
saying.
have a fine Lexia date show.
A speed date.
Listen,
we should
I'll
have a
pre-screen
speed
them.
have
date.
some
Christian
single
speed
men
dating.
that you have vetted.
I'm gonna vet them.
I don't
Okay.
know
I
about
bet
that
you.
No, I'm
either, though.
serious.
I'm serious too.
That you vetted and you.
Well, I'm gonna do better than that, Lord, in the name of Jesus.
I like that.
We'll be
Send
right back.
Lexi, the right man,
I like
a
it.
godly man,
Wonderful.
a man that you have chosen
Yeah, God.
after your own heart.
Yes, sir.
I declare, decree it, I prophesied in the next 30 days, she gonna come and say, here's this man at. Here's this man at.
It's for y'all, Reverend Horace Sheffield, in the wake-up call.
Hey, this is City Council President Mary Sheffield. I get my Saturday morning wake-up call from my dad, Reverend Horace Sheffield.
What up, though? It's your girl T-Barb, and I get my morning call with Reverend Sheffield. Make sure y'all tune in every Saturday. It's good.
Every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. or 92.7 FM. The wake-up call.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's your girl Randy Rosario, TV host. I get my Saturday wake-up call with my guy, Reverend Horace Sheffield. Good day.
I'm Sheriff Raphael Washington, Wayne County, and I get my Saturday morning wake up every Saturday morning from Reverend Horace Sheffield. And
every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. on AM or 92.7 FM. The wake-up call with the Reverend Horace Sheffield.
This is Super Bowl champion Lawrence Brown, and I get my Saturday morning wake-up call from Reverend Horace Sheffield, my man.
This is Grover in Kansas, and I get my wake-up call from Reverend Horace Sheffield at 8 a.m. on 1500 AM, 92.7 FM. The wake-up call with the Reverend Horace Sheffield. See you there.
Hey, what's up, y'all? I get my Saturday morning wake-up call from Make sure you get yours.
I'm Hester Wheeler, and I get my Saturday morning wake-up call from Reverend Sheffield.
Every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. on 1500 AM or 92.7 FM. The wake-up call with the Reverend Horace Sheffield.
Your Wayne County Treasurer. If you're living in a home of a deceased family facing property tax foreclosure, the probate process can be helpful to you. If you file a probate petition and notify our office, the foreclosure proceedings will be halted during the probate process. Contact us at 313-224-5990 or email us at taxinfo@waynecounty.com. We're here to help.
In the wilds of Michigan, billboards hunt their prey. Big hair, bold promises, and
It's for y'all. It's for y'all,
guarantees.
Reverend Horace Sheffield, in the wake-up call.
All right.
All right, we're back for our final few moments. I want to say that this is one of the greatest shows in the archives of my Saturday morning shows.
Amen.
It was the launch of our new video board,
Right.
which, I envisioned this.
Right.
I know so many people around the world that can't come, so we get them up on the screen, right? And we're able to have them here. And then just the time we've had with you, Lexi.
Oh, thank you.
Exactly.
This has been the
Great energy.
This has been the Lexus Nexus. And I just want you to know God's gonna give you the desires of your heart.
I believe
Amen.
that. I know He will.
It's coming.
I already know.
All right, you have a new podcast you want to talk about. It's called the Pink Podcast.
No, it's the Diplomacy Doll, y'all. I launched my political podcast. It's every episode's only about 25 minutes, and I just keep it real. It does not sound like this, though. Warning. It's definitely.
Well, if it doesn't sound like this, you ain't got nothing.
Yes. I got a lot.
I'm just saying. I mean, look, don't throw off on us to build yours up. You know.
Right. I'm just letting y'all know there's a lot of words on there that you wouldn't hear on this syndicated radio.
Yeah, and by the way, I'm going to
There's
talk
no
to you as a
FCC
member of my
regulation on
church
our
about some
podcast.
of the words you posted. Now you've been saved. Now you've been saved.
She been posting some real words.
I'm the version of I like my Jesus.
Well, let me just tell you. Yeah, I got you that. I got you that.
The one who braided the leather whip.
I understand that, and we do misconstrue who Jesus is.
Right.
But we don't ever want our good evil spoken of, right? And that's one of the things I had to learn because I was a person that never conformed to social conventions. In fact, I'm gonna do the opposite thing.
Yeah.
But the older I've got, the more I realize that I have to lose some things to win all, right? I can't just posit me. I was studying this morning because I'm going to preach again about Jacob. I did the exegesis at Union Seminary. I mean, Jacob is a fascinating person, right? And God allowed him to do all the stuff he did, fighting in the womb. I mean, involving his mother and cheating his brother out of the birthright, you know. And he finally got to the point where he wrestled, you know. And the point that I left with this morning, Lexi, is that there's always some sign that you've wrestled and the Lord has won. Because he left there, you know, limping, right, for the rest of his life.
Sir.
And there ought to be some physical
Some
evidence,
sign.
some other manifestation, except you saying, I've been with the Lord and I've been changed. They ought to be able to see something different.
So good.
Oh, help me, somebody.
That's so
You ought
good.
to be like the man born blind where they put him in the midst of it. They say, it looked like him,
Yes, sir.
but there's something different.
Yes, sir.
Lord have mercy.
Your spirit is not invisible.
I mean, that's really what it's about. At the end of the day, it's about conversion. I'll say this, and I'll give you my best theology. And my church has heard this 100 times. You know, we're justified by faith, right? So there's justification, sanctification, and glorification. Justification is what he did for us that we freely receive and we accept, right? Justified by faith. We ain't got to do anything. We just have to accept it. Sanctification is our response to what he gave us.
Yes,
us wanting to treat people different, us wanting to set ourselves apart. Then there's glorification. He gives us more because we gave him more.
Yes, come on.
Break it down.
Well, you more than just a pretty face. You actually got something to say.
I know.
Who knew? Who knew?
I know a little bit about the word.
Okay.
This word have I hid in my heart.
Let's go.
Right?
Let's
Come
go.
on. You know, there's a lamp unto my feet, you know, light
Yes,
unto my
sir.
pathway. And let me just say this. The word is so rich that it, you know, talk about daily bread. We would not be sustained. I don't know about you.
Yes, sir.
I mean, and Lexi, I've stopped calling people to encourage me.
Ooh,
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's enough scripture to encourage me.
yeah, that's true.
In the stage, in the
Plenty.
phase where I'm going through, you know, with what happened to me at one mic, which is the back end thing, because I should have never got in that business. And where I'm in, the Lord said to me, keep saying to me, look, many are the afflictions of the righteous,
That's right.
but the Lord will deliver him out of them all. And here's what I want to say. My best theology has come out of this, and that is God would not spare you, right, from yourself and your sins and save you to let you kill yourself or die, you know, some other way. He doesn't make that investment.
That's right.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, he
That's
just
right.
doesn't do it. Now he's long suffering, but sometimes he ain't crazy.
Yes, that's
Well,
right.
there you
I
go.
agree.
Let's be real. Let me get off this thing here.
Well, you know what though, all kidding aside, most of us
Ed
feel,
goes to church every Sunday
Yeah.
too. You know.
well, I do in my own way.
Well, I thought you were going to church. What
Well,
you
I
told
mean,
me.
in my own way. And
Because
no,
I
Get
commune.
him,
listen,
talk plainly.
Okay.
What is in my? I go to church
Yeah.
in my own way.
I commune with the Lord every day.
Okay, you just
didn't ask you
you
that.
just
He's
praying right now
you
without
just
ceasing.
missed your date. You just got off the list.
And
Lex, he's not on the list
there's
anymore.
no problem with
What does
that
that mean?
because
In my own
in-
way.
just what I said.
Do you go to church, Ed, at all?
Do you
No.
go to the building?
I
There
thought
you
you
go.
told me you were going to church.
I was.
But when you stop,
When my wife passed away, and the pastor and we were part of the bus ministry for over 25 years.
right? I mean,
Church
Ed was a faithful
look here,
churchgoer.
and he would not recognize her, and he sent us a letter of, you know how you get the the counseling, grief counseling.
Yeah.
He sent a letter to my house with a rubber stamp on it.
Oh, he didn't even take the time.
Didn't even take the time.
You
And
get
that's what
another
they're-
church.
Well, I'm just
Okay,
saying.
Ed, can I say something?
What's that?
You my man. You wouldn't come over here because you was over there at Faithful driving. I know all the stuff you were doing. You come over here with me, man. Let me be your pastor.
You know, you and I.
that invitation to
No,
Christ.
you and I have been on this show. I've been the longest standing member of this show.
I've never
It ain't
from the
about it.
beginning, but I said,
Yeah.
Ed, I would. I mean, I know what you were doing in that church.
Yeah.
So don't, when I talk about regardless of others,
Yeah.
see, I'm serving to please God.
Well, that's it.
He's the one that I owe, right?
Always.
So you come, we talk
that
to Ed,
value
get
just
Ed over
added.
there. Yeah.
Come on,
Yeah.
Deacon Lever.
Church-
Real value.
church hurt
Athena,
is
we don't
real.
have but a
See,
few moments left. You
We
want to say
just talked
something?
about church hurt. That-
Okay,
and-
well,
Exactly.
And
That's
that's kind
real.
And that's the
Yeah, that's
only
real.
relationship we walk away from without a bunch of questions. I mean, it's tough.
But
it's
here's,
tough.
here's the
Yeah.
real
I'm sorry
problem
that
with
happened.
church hurt.
Now,
sorry.
it's more to
'Cause
the
I'm a
story.
widow.
Well,
Come
we
back.
don't hit no more
Come
right
back.
now.
But it's more to the story.
Okay, we don't hit no.
My wife's aunt and uncle were deacon and deaconess in the
Okay,
church.
listen to this. Listen
See,
to
that's
this.
real hurt.
See God still.
Listen to this.
Mhm.
The problem with church hurt is, and I deal with it, is that people equate what we do with God.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So rather than just be
pastor
mad
is
at that
not God.
pastor,
The
now
pastor
you
is
mad
not
at the
God.
whole church.
But people will say, I'm not mad at God,
Yeah.
but they just,
But they
kinda
taking it out on
retreat.
God. You taking it out on
Well,
God.
he's saying,
Yeah.
I have my own
to
relationship
God.
with him at home.
Yeah,
That's
well,
a whole
Don't worry about it.
podcast.
We're gonna invite you to church because I'm bringing him back to church. He need to be
Absolutely.
back.
Said we
This
need
man,
another
this
bus
man,
driver.
what,
Come back.
tell him
Come
what
back.
you were doing in church, Ed.
No, wait,
Go
hold.
ahead.
Are we open? Are you open
Hey,
to
look,
coming back to church?
I'm always open to experiencing and hearing the word.
Will you come
All right.
to church?
Will you come to New
Will
Destiny
you
and
come?
visit?
I'll come to church.
Okay, cool.
All right.
All right.
See,
I
listen,
mean,
and that wasn't
I'm
hard.
telling you,
That wasn't
Lexi,
hard.
I'm talking about a servant of the church.
I believe
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I believe
And I
that.
didn't know this, Ed.
Yeah.
Look
We
here.
never talked
We
about
never
this.
talked.
I never joined that church, and I'd still give my due diligence.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
And
All
you
right.
made sure people got places
Come
safely.
to Jesus.
How you ain't coming to Jesus, but you drove everybody
Come
else.
to Jesus.
Welcome back.
Look here.
Welcome back.
I used to be an acolyte in the Episcopal Church.
Yeah.
I already know it.
Okay.
Yeah. I
See,
used
on
to be
you.
I used to be acolyte in the Catholic church.
No, you're an altar boy.
Altar boy. But I all in the Lutheran church, but
Yeah.
and can I tell this last story? It just came to my mind. So I had these teachers at Roosevelt who were very, very hard on me. And one of them invited me to come preach a prayer breakfast. She's dead now. And she got up and she said in her introduction, and I just want you to know he was a little devil. And he's the last person I thought God would ever use to do anything. So I got up and I was very nice. I said, well, thank you for having me. Appreciate the opportunity. And Miss So-and-so, you my third grade teacher. And I'll admit that I did act like a little devil then, but it was better for me to act like one then than to be one now.
That's the truth.
And by the way, some of your little angels that you coveted,
They're devils
they
now.
dead.
Period.
Died in sin.
Clock that T.
Clock it.
Piping hot. Piping hot.
Yeah. See, Paul said, basically that this stuff happens that we might be the firstborn among many, right? Are y'all with me?
Among many.
And some of the, I won't say the sinfulness, but some of the stuff we go through is really preparation for others' elevation.
Mhm,
Because we've been there, we can tell people that you can still get up from the grave because he called my name when I was dead.
And we
Yes,
got to do our
sir.
part. We
And
got
I
to
got
do our
up
part.
from
We
the
gotta
dead.
say get up. We got to actually use our voices and allow ourselves to be heard
It's the truth.
because you have a word and you need to.
But more,
Lexi, how can we get in
Okay.
touch with you? Because I know we haven't talked about your Instagram. We haven't talked about a whole lot of stuff. You got to come back.
Oh,
But how can we follow you? Where can we find you?
yeah, Lexi Television, Lexi, Lexi, the word television, Lexi Television on Instagram, Lexi Television on YouTube, Lexi Television on TikTok, Lexi Television.
and here's the thing I was going to say. We're going to
Yes,
end on this. Everything that we've been through and up against is for him to give us power over it so we can tell other folk they don't have to surrender to it.
You don't.
That's right.
You don't.
And so that's why if the gospel is hid, it's hid to them that are lost. That's why we can't be acting like we always been right when we
That's
know
right.
we've been wrong.
That's right.
Oh my God, we're gonna be back next week, y'all.
Yes, sir.
All right. Are we ready to go?
Hey.
All right, see you next week. Lexi.
It's for y'all. It's for y'all, Reverend Horace Sheffield, and the wake up call.